It's the 31st of January 2019. I'm David Griffin and I'm here at Sandiacre Town Cricket Club and I'm talking to
John Watkin,
Jack Loydall,
Peter Nunn, Steve Hart.
Gents, thanks very much for joining us this evening as part of our Oral History of Cricket project. I'm particularly interested in the ground and the pavilion and the way in which the ground's been developed over the years. I don't know who would probably best to start, but I certainly recall playing on here in the 70s when it was like a wave. The ground was so uneven. So what was the reason for the unevenness for a start?
Lanting, farmer's lanting.
Right.
Design.
the strip system they used to call it. Yes.
It was a farmer's field.
Yeah.
The top end of the ground used to be a farm.
Right.
Belonged to Redford. It belonged to Tara Hooley, a multi-millionaires.
So
Yeah.
what was the basis of the use of the land? Was it on a lease back then?
Yes. We leased. The farmer let us have it, but he let us. We had to block the square off.
Yeah.
Put fences around the square, and there's a picture on the wall there. And then the cows are let on the outfield.
Right.
Well,
So you didn't need to cut the grass?
No, Jack will tell you of the times he had to collect the.
shovel the cow muck up.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, you go and fetch it, Jack.
I'd be about 8 years old. My father had sent me out there with a shovel and a bucket.
So your dad had played cricket here at Sandiacre?
Father captain the
Right.
club, yeah.
So when would he have been captain? What year?
It'd be middle 60s, would it be?
late 50s.
Late 50s.
Right.
Late 50s.
And you played a bit as well, Jack?
Yeah.
I played middle 60s, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so why were you
Only
the
a
one?
second team.
Why were you the one that had to clear up after the cows then?
Well, Father used to look after the square, and while he was down there, he used to bring me down and give me the job of clearing the camel.
It was all answer the mill when we there was an electrified fence around. We used to have to take it, disconnect it, and take all the four sides of.
So how did the club come? Because I understand in 1953 you just said the farmer owned the land. So who made the decision? Do we know to
the
acquire
committee
the
at the
ground?
time.
The committee at the time was pioneered by Stephen's father, Wilfred Hart.
Right.
And we decided we would collect as much. We negotiated with our solicitors to buy the land off Tara Hooley.
Was there a risk of losing the land? Was that
No, but there
not
was
really,
always
not really.
there was
Always a
always a possibility. And my dad was on the parish, was chairman of the parish council at the time.
Yeah.
The asking price was 2,400, I believe, and we collected it through the bobs and 10 bobs and 5 quids from the village people.
And we got a grant of the Playing Fields Association.
We did. We got a grant from the
So what sort of pavilion or changing facilities did you have at that time?
We had a really good. We had the best pavilion you could have then, which is all wooden, of course.
Yeah.
Split into two, no showers.
Yeah.
We built an outside toilet block added later, and fitted showers later. So it was quite modern.
It was built in 1900.
And was there any bar facility, or did you have to go to the local pub?
we did have a bar later on.
Yeah.
Not originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we used to meet in the White Lion, didn't we?
But through the early 90s, it was obvious it was falling down.
Yes.
The roof was bowed, and the chairman of the day was my brother. Steve followed him in when he was poorly and had to retire. He cajoled me to take on the job of raising some funds.
Yeah.
And these two gentlemen, and a guy, Keith Bright, who passed away, he was my aide-de-camps at the subcommittee.
Yeah.
But they were working, so they allowed me to bully them as much as I could. And but principally, we set about gathering grants. I got a grant from the Derbyshire treasure chest of 30,000.
Yep.
I got a grant from
Erewash
Borough Council of 37,000.
And had you done the levelling off of the outfield before that?
No. Yes, before.
I
I got a grant from the national, not the national play. What was it called?
Was it the Playing Fields?
The Playing Field Association. It was funded by Littlewoods.
Yeah.
And I got a grant of 35,000 for that.
But the levelling off, how did you
I
physically
got
do that?
I got a guy.
Gordon Ash.
No.
Turf off and kept it.
No. We got a firm from Loydall, I think it was, from Retford,
Right.
and they came in, and I've got photographs of that.
But presumably that's got to be a winter project or a post.
was,
It's
it
got
was.
to be
As
done.
soon as the game
ready
finished,
for-
wasn't
As
it?
soon as the season finished.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got.
The turf was
we've got-
taken up, rolled up,
We've got,
Yeah.
we've got photographs
and then
of that.
It
graded,
was graded and
and the turf returned.
Yes.
Right.
And
Did a super job.
so with that 35,000, we levelled the field as much as we could, graded it, and we were enabled to put a ball stop fence of 25 foot high along the roadside. We weren't mandated to do it,
Yeah.
but we did it for safety reasons,
Yeah.
because there was a lot of traffic then. And there was enough money left to fit an artificial bridge
Right.
on the ground,
Right.
and 2 practice nets, weren't they?
Yeah.
And we got all that done.
And your pavilion, I mean, presumably you mentioned it was a wooden pavilion previously, so it was a case of having to move with the times, I guess,
Without
to
a doubt,
produce something.
Yeah.
Yes,
modern.
it was
We were very, yes.
traditional old pavilions.
It was rotten.
Yes, it was.
It was
yes,
rotten.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got a grant of 267,000 from the
We were very lucky that Peter had just retired at the time,
yeah.
and we're also the National Lottery had coming about, and we were one of the first ones to do it. Keith was instrumental in drawing up our bid because he'd been a senior civil servant, so he knew how to fill forms in. Keith got us going.
Yep.
We turned up to, it was Nottingham Sport then were handling the people whether they would give us any money,
Yes.
and Peter nagged me to come with him to the meeting, and as luck would have it, I taught the bloke in charge, I taught both his kids. So it was, how are they now? Oh, yes, I'm sure. And then Peter took over because we were working, and Peter nagged everybody till we got this, and we've got a magnificent
I had a
pavilion.
lot of help from people.
From a lot of people, but Peter's
I
made
mean,
And was this a winter project or did it?
2
cross over?
years.
It took 5 years to collect the
Yeah.
money.
Right.
It
No,
was-
but I mean the actual construction project.
No, doing Valley construction.
Yes, we had it one season when we changed in a.
We changed down the
yeah.
bottom.
Porta
and
cabin.
In a
porta
porta
cabins,
cabin.
yeah.
whilst it
My
was
name
being
was
built.
Mud. Because we had to knock the pavilion down to start the project to get the money.
Of course, yeah.
But we played at Eastwood, all of us, and Eastwood had a balcony, and we always were envious, I think, of that,
Yeah.
and that's what we wanted. And we would have liked the balcony to go, and for the changing room windows to come down to the bottom of the balcony, but health and safety then said, oh, people might be able to see you on the road, so the window's a bit higher. But it is a feature of I think it's a feature that everybody likes.
We had a lot
Well,
of self.
I remember when it opened, Gerald Mortimer
Yeah.
did a piece in the Derby Telegraph
Yeah.
about it, and
Saying
he
how-
compared it 2
To
years later
Derbyshire's.
with Derbyshire's
Yeah.
Gateway, and he said the Gateway has no place on a cricket ground. If you want to see what a pavilion should look like, you go to
So we did,
Sandiacre.
he did get a good write, but it is excellent.
It is. It's
For a
lovely.
village
The important thing is
cricket
you
club.
can actually
Can I
watch
just
the
make a
game
point
from the
there?
dressing
Yeah.
room in effect.
Yeah.
I hate these pavilions where you can't watch
Yes.
the game from inside the dressing room
Yes.
or next to the dressing room. But you have to come sit outside to watch. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
And I bet you wish you could have played when these facilities were
Yes, I
played,
never
when you
played
got
it when
the showers.
no,
and-
but the old pavilion, you see, you could sit inside the dressing room and watch
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
And who came and opened your pavilion?
Ian Botham.
Right.
He was opening.
How did
He was
that-
opening
how
the
did that
stand at
arise?
Nottingham.
Right. So who was the link with both of them then?
Me and a chap named Eddie Taylor.
Right. So what was it? A phone call? A letter? How did you get hold of
we,
him?
I knew somebody, and he knew somebody, and that was
They'd
it.
played golf with him, hadn't they, on a
Yeah.
golf
Yeah.
day?
Right.
That's it.
For his charity leukemia, and he was they got him interested in the fact that we were opening this pavilion, and he'd like to come and do it.
So when he came, on the day he came, what was the... Did you have a match or was
No,
it just
we
a...
didn't have a match.
Right.
We invited the mayor of Derby to
Yeah.
sit down, and she was late, so I told Ian, and he said, "Don't worry, we'll sign some autographs." So
Really?
he did.
And did you have a good turnout?
Fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, the village game.
Fantastic.
I think he fitted it in with a test match. I think he was commentating at
It
Trent
was.
Bridge.
Right.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
came
He was
here-
opening something there.
Yes.
They got that new
Yeah. That's
pavilion
it,
there.
yeah.
But
Right.
we were able to mobilise the pavilion chaps. You know, I mean, David organised that bar.
Mm.
Bones sort of got, he organised the central heating project.
Yeah.
Norman Atwood
Norman
did
Atwood
the
did the
electrics.
electrics.
Yeah, quite.
And all manner of people I got to be able.
Team effort.
Team effort.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm interested now because obviously, with the greatest of respect to you, you are the senior citizen, shall we say, of Sandiacre. So what are your positions and roles now? What do you do now in connection with the club?
Well,
Club.
my main position is spectator now, really.
A wonderful occupation.
Yes,
That is.
sort of domestic problems have made it more difficult for me to do anything else other than come on a Saturday and watch.
Yeah.
But I go to all the games, home and away.
Really?
And I have done for years since I stopped playing, really. I mean, I came here and played cricket, and then I gradually found myself sort of the groundsman.
Oh,
Because
right.
I like that sort of thing, and I packed up and continued to do the wickets along with Gordon Hancock, who's not with
You're
us
still
anymore.
doing that?
Oh no,
Oh,
I
right.
haven't done it for quite a long time now.
You brush your mark out though, John, don't you?
Well, I do that at tea time. I still
Nobody
go and brush it.
retires, do they? It doesn't matter who you talk to. Nobody ever retires, do
No.
they?
But the thing that strikes me now is, compared to say 25 years ago, the amount of equipment that there is available.
Yeah.
I mean, when I started out there, you had to riddle your own topsoil.
Yeah.
We had a big riddle which we used to lean up. We got the soil delivered by a lorry, and then we riddled it all,
Yeah.
put it in the shed, and then when we were doing the actual top dressing, we used to then barrow it all out and put it on and loot it on. Now all we've got machines to
Yeah.
do all this, and it's
And cows cut the grass.
well, yes, and the gang mowers that were there. Fortunately, we did have a Ferguson tractor,
Yeah.
which was an absolute boom. But the original gang mowers were small, and when we used to go in and out of those humps and hollows, they used to fold over on themselves because they were so light. So we bought a second-hand set from Wash Valley Golf Club of proper gang mowers they used to use for the fairways, and then we're able to get the ground really down and short and the grass looking good. It didn't take very long in terms of years, but after a couple of years we got the grass really looking good and everything.
Excellent.
Yes.
And winning's always better than losing, I guess, but presumably it's been quite a satisfying few years watching Sandiacre going away in the last decade or so.
It's a day out, and I know loads of people, and there's they call this the last of the summer wine. We sit over there and we don't criticise really, we just comment.
Just
to
observe.
Observe, yes.
Well, you can do that, can't
That's
you?
right, yeah.
So, Jack, what do you... everyone says you've got to come and sit in on this interview. You're sitting there resplendent in a Sandiacre Town jacket. So what's your connection, involvement, duties at Sandiacre these days?
Well, since I finished playing, I got interested in running the bar. The two ladies that ran it before me wanted to finish doing it, so I took it on. Peter invited me, and I've done it ever since, and that would be Peter when.
Magnificent member of the club.
I must have been doing it for 30 years.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's easy.
And are you a taskmaster, are you a strict publican, or are you a genial barman?
No.
Genial.
Which would you say,
The
Jack?
former.
Friendly.
The former.
It's
with
tough
a bit of
guy,
the-
is it?
Yeah, you definitely.
It's a tough guy.
It's called a spade a spade.
I don't stand nonsense.
No.
No, well,
Put it
why
that
should
way.
you?
But
Why
very
should you?
Yeah,
pragmatism.
yeah.
Pragmatic chap.
If anything's broken or wants repairing, it's usually me.
It's always
It's usually me.
Yes.
I think that's fair to say.
See,
that-
Jack, yes.
with a marvellous management structure, David. We really
Well, I
are.
was going to say, you've done, job after job, 25
Absolutely.
years,
Well,
back to
well,
number
most-
3.
most of the
So what are you doing now then?
Well,
at Sandiacre?
for my sins, I'm the chairman of the disciplinary committee,
Right,
and I'm a senior trustee,
right.
and I generally keep my eye on the money madness.
Right, but you're not playing anymore.
No, I packed when I was 64.
Wow.
I was in the twos then, looked after the twos. The rumour had it that if I didn't pack up I'd be shot,
Oh, right.
so I did. But it's a great club, I enjoyed my time here.
And Steve, sitting there on the end, you've got a long
Yeah,
history
well,
and
I'm
connection
lucky
with
I've
Sandiacre.
just retired from being chairman for a I can't remember how long, whether it's 28 years, it's 26 years.
It's a long while, Stephen. You've done a magnificent job.
And I'm pleased I've done it because Paul's taken over, but I'm still here to help him because obviously Paul works, and now I'm retired. It's easy for me to go to meetings, and I still do that. We're just trying to get some funding for the nets over there, and so we meet people like that. I help open up during the day sometimes. I serve. We do funeral wakes. I'm not having anything here to make money. And I come and help make the tea, and JJ's just arranged we're having a horse racing night, and I said
Next week.
in a mood of madness, I said, well, I'll help with the food. He then told me, he said, oh, well, we thought we'd have baked potatoes and chilli. I said, yeah. He said, there'll be 80. I thought,
They stop you getting bored, I suppose.
I've had
Steve.
to go and borrow a jam pan off somebody, so I've got something big enough to put the chilli. Yeah, and I don't mind doing it. And I'm the groundsman now, since
Right.
John gave it up.
Right.
And when somebody took over from John, and when he then retired from work, bought a house in France. His wife suggested it might be nice if he went to the house in France occasionally. So he packed up, so we got that, well, you're the chairman, you'll have to do the ground. You're the chairman, you're the chairman. So I started on the ground, and I'm doing it ever since, and I'm just training my next... the
Your
next person.
apprentice?
Yes, who's 51 and just
Just a youngster then, mate.
he's been made redundant by BT as an accountant.
One of the major figures in the organisation is Jean Jordison,
Yes.
Who can't be here tonight.
who can't be tonight.
Because she's had to babysit for
She's
JJ.
a treasurer and an absolute marvellous
Yeah.
cricket player.
Well, I was going to ask to conclude, because I mean, we've got a cricket club that we talked in the first interview about a game of cricket being played as long ago as the 1830s, so nearly 200 years. We've got you four guys who've all got decades and decades of association with Sandiacre. So, in just a short sentence or two, what is the secret of Sandiacre's success? What makes it the club that it is?
Families.
Yes,
Families.
That's right.
Family club.
Yeah.
And it's progressed now where most of the first team players have got young children, and hopefully they will become
And it's a welcoming
interested in the club.
It's a
And it's hopeful that they have boys.
It's
But
not
though we have a lot of girls on a Wednesday night as well, so
non-political, non-sexual, non-racial.
Yeah.
We love cricket.
And this pavilion enables all the children to come in here after the match, and you know they're sitting about, and it's really quite pleasant. Really, you get the players will go and sit over there, and the families will be here, and the children will be running about. It's quite pleasant. Really.
but we like
Family atmosphere.
Yeah, we like the players to have a drink after the match, and you know, the opposition now, it's no longer become the habit where you have a drink with the opposition.
No.
We try to. Dan always insisted that we did when we played away. I'm sure the new captain, this year's captain, Scott, will do the same. And it's nice if people stop and have it. It's part of the game.
Yes.
Part of the game is playing your opponents, talking to your opponents. When we played, if we played Ockbrook, a big game on, when you went, you knew they were 11. If you knew, they said, oh, so-and-so's not here today. Oh, yeah, well, he's gone on holiday or he's broke his toe or something. But you knew the 11. Nowadays, you go there, you've no idea from one year to the next who the sides have got. And we try and keep people playing all the time.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful that John, Paul and those three over there and JJ will be here, us four, in 30 years' time, because it's that thing that keeps it going.
Well, I'm really been fascinated by some of the stuff that you've been telling us about, some of the successes and the history of the club. I'd like to thank you for welcoming the foundation to be part of the Sandiacre family this evening. I'd like to thank you all for your contributions.
Thank
Clearly,
you, David.
Sandiacre Cricket Club's in very good hands. Thank you very
Well,
much indeed.
thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.